You don't have to be afraid of us. I will pour you that drink. You just have to come back in here. Speak with us a bit. Does that sound like a... Dude.
It's not often that a place becomes a pool of history. Some places are so majestic that they attract iconic figures and thousands of people. Excelsior Springs, Missouri is one of those places. In 1880, a local farmer's daughter fell ill with a form of tuberculosis. Upon receiving advice, the farmer gave his daughter the local spring water to drink and bathe in. After several weeks, she steadily improved and was eventually cured. Word spread, and people flocked to Excelsior Springs to treat different ailments. In 1888, the Excelsior Springs Company built the Elms Hotel. The hotel was magnificent and attracted visitors from all over. In 1898, a fire ravished the Elms wooden structure, burning it to the ground. By 1908, the second Elms Hotel was being built, and the mineral waters were being sold and getting international attention. After reopening in 1909, the hotel had been restored to its glory. That is, until another fire on October 30th in 1910 destroyed the building. Plans were in place for the third Elms after a few months. Finally, in September of 1912, the current Elms Hotel was opened and continued to serve people from all over. As a hotel and health spa, the Elms attracted people of iconic stature. In the time of Prohibition, some of the guests included boxing legend Jack Dempsey, the New York Giants, and local politicians. It also served as a playground for crime figures. During Prohibition, police tried to raid the hotel on several occasions. We're in Excelsior Springs, staying at the Elms Hotel tonight, a place so steeped in history that even some of the most famous gangsters in America have even stayed here. It's said that Al Capone even stayed here and had a tunnel that led from the Elms Hotel to a house nearby. Al Capone was a famous Chicago mob boss. His outgoing personality had reached celebrity status. One of his more infamous hits was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. 4 men dressed as police officers entered Bugs Moran's headquarters on North Clark Street in Chicago. They lined 7 of Moran's henchmen against a wall before unloading rounds of gunfire, killing the men. On more than one occasion, Al Capone, Pretty Boy Floyd, and Bugsy Moran hosted illegal gambling and bathtub gin parties. The lap pool area is said to be haunted by a man traced back to its speakeasy days. During Prohibition, gangsters would store liquor and have parties in the blocked-off rooms. It is said the spirit of this man was killed by the mob at one of these parties. One of the most famous guests of the Elms Hotel was President Harry Truman, who checked in under secrecy with 6 Secret Service agents. Reportedly on the 3rd floor of the hotel, both staff and guests have often seen a maid wearing a 1920s style uniform. Another spirit is said to be that of a woman who walks through the hotel looking for her child. Distressed, she has been known to pull people's hair and throw things across rooms. Both guests and staff report the feeling of an unearthly presence in several areas throughout the old hotel, as well as unexplained noises and the occasional glimpse at one of these spirits. After contacting the hotel, we were given permission to investigate and see exactly what lingers in the rooms and halls of this place. When we arrived, we were given a brief tour by a staff member. During the tour, she gave us bits of information before the hotel set us up with Jay Fanning.
So we went through a tour, got to hear a lot of interesting stuff about how Al Capone used to use this place for his meetings and even stay here. Even a possible story about some nice tunnels. So, a lot of great history here. Now, as far as the investigation goes, not really a whole lot of violent stuff. It's really occurred here from what I know, but a lot of visuals, such as shadows and stuff. So I'm really hoping that we can see some of those up on roughly around the 3rd or 4th floor tonight.
My name is Jay Fanning. I've been working for the Elms probably a total of about 10 years. I started out in maintenance, and now I am the hotel's ghost tour guide.
Jay runs a ghost tour at the hotel. As a fellow investigator, he has an intimate knowledge of its past residents and guest experiences, as well as some of his own.
They started out as a fluke. Front desk kept calling me up there, having me take people around the hotel and show them what we've got going on. They were forever asking me questions I didn't have the answers to, and so over the period of about 6 months, I gained quite a bit of information and put it together into what it is. It allowed me to go back to work in about 40 minutes rather than taking an hour and a half just talking to people. My tour takes about 45 minutes to an hour. I have about 4 or 5 hours worth of information on this place, stories of people that have had events happen to them, things moving around, hearing things that aren't there. I have 3 hours worth of stories I forgot about. When you come here, you can take pictures, you can record, and you will catch things, unexplainable things. I can't say that the activity is malicious in nature. I don't believe that it is, but there is a lot of going on here. With the sheer amount of history of this building, with the springs creating electromagnetism below us, I don't want to say a word like vortex, but I really can't imagine a better scenario.
You mentioned room 422. That happens to be the room we're staying in.
In 422.
Yep. What are some of the things that happen in that room?
Well, I've had myself personally, I went walking by the bedroom TV. It turned on me for no reason. I tried using my radio light, my room key card to get it to come back on. Nothing worked. Finished my work in the bathroom probably about 15 minutes later. Came back by it, it turned on again. Can't figure out how that occurred. And then it happened to me probably about 9 years ago. About 7 months ago, I had a father and his 2 daughters take the tour. They all got buck-eyed on me when I told that story. Apparently the same thing had happened to them twice earlier in the evening. When it happened to me, it was a huge older TV. Now it's all brand new stuff, flat screens, kind of hard to explain, keeps happening in the same room.
Alright, so of course we got our 2 cameras in here.
Yep.
Because couples that have been here before have heard knocking at the door and the door handle rattling, but it rattles on the inside.
Yeah, which, as we all know, in any hotel, you can't rattle outside to rattle inside.
Right. It's too loose.
Yeah.
Or they're separated or something.
And they're all digital, and they run off of a basic separation type system to where you can use one to activate it, but it has to be with the card. The other one won't move. So it's kind of like on a digital little system.
So of course we got 1 camera here and 1 camera in the bedroom to cover us while we're sleeping, which is good for us tonight. Second room we've got that we're gonna hit up is room 347. That's the room where the people have had scratches.
Yes.
Apparently 2 girls were mocking the ghosts. Went back to their room and got scratched on their back. Also a bellman ended up with scratches. Room 500, furniture has been said to be moved in there. They'll leave it and come back, and I guess one time they found all the furniture on the bed. The next area we're going to investigate the fire escape area where the window.
They're on this out there?
No, not on the fire escape. You go down the stairs, the window in front of the fire escape where people have been seen in the window.
Yeah, that one, the one he directed us at?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can investigate in that area as well. The tavern, people have seen a figure in the tavern when nobody's in there. Third floor, a woman in despair apparently has been roaming the third floor looking for a lost child. Also, the child has been seen in the hotel as well.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a hard one to kind of land out because we got all the people on the floor.
Yeah, you kind of have to be quiet.
Yeah, you can't really do a true blue EVP session on there.
We'll try and just see what happens, I guess. Another room I want to check out. We'll have to get the key. Capone's room. Al Capone's room.
That was
What, 317?
I think it was 1 something.
No, it was on the 3rd floor,
Was it?
as far as I know, because Al Capone had one that looked over everything.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, we're gonna investigate the lap pool where the speakeasy was, and
Oh yeah, I'm gonna investigate that lap pool.
people have heard children down there. They've seen shadows down there. Apparently, during the days of a speakeasy, a man was shot down there. So,
After coming up with a plan, we set up our equipment and began our investigation.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, John.
It's Barry,
and David.
and we are in the stairwell between the 4th and 3rd floor, where they have experienced someone apparently reflecting themselves in the glass window as they're walking down the steps. So,
The one incident had to do with an Elvis impersonator's manager. He was on the 4th floor fire escape up above the hot tub. One evening he was out there, he had a little bit too much to drink, but went out there for that cigarette and somehow fell to his death back there. It's kind of a funny story. The Elvis impersonator's manager, the Elvis impersonator that he was representing was in town doing a benefit for an individual that had been shot. My first year here giving this tour, I had a couple dishwashers join the tour, one of them being an older gentleman. Come to find out, he was the individual that had been shot. Very small world as far as I'm concerned. I'd been doing the tour like a year, had no idea my dishwasher was part of the tour.
right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play a little Elvis music to see if we can, conjure up some reaction from this gentleman.
After spending about 25 minutes in the stairwell, we decided to go somewhere a little more private.
3, 2, 1. Alright. This is Barry.
This is John.
David?
And we are out here in the tavern. We currently have John's recorder on the bar. I'm gonna go ahead and put this recorder over by the entrance. See if we may get some answers back over here or not.
We're gonna pick up the air conditioning pretty bad.
You alright?
Really bad. Probably tell the audio it's picking it up.
Mm-hmm.
This is squat right around here. Actually, I want to sit right here.
Okay, we're in the bar. We got any spirits here, like Al Capone, old Teddy Roosevelt, or
Nah, just vodka and gin.
anybody here?
Any spirits here?
Yeah, any spirits? K2 just pinged.
Did it?
Yeah. Any spirits here? Besides the alcohol you drink? If so, light them up there. Got a voice recorder up there, got a K2 meter, and the other one that's got green lights, that's a ghost meter. You guys touch it, it light up for us. We'd like to really speak to you.
if you light that up, I'll play you some nice tunes from the 1920s and 30s. Bet you haven't heard that in a while.
Do you still maintain a physical form like you did when you were alive? Yep.
Yeah. Was there any other information we can remember about this room? Wasn't really any.
Just that somebody went and saw somebody stand up here from the pool.
Yeah, and there wasn't anything about any death or
Yeah.
any kind of tragedy in here. Well, Al Capone was here, so I'm telling. So we hear there's a gentleman who likes to watch over the pool area in here. Does that happen? Is that you? Just light up the green light over there, turn it red.
Well, guys, I just seen a shadow figure.
Hey Dave, go back over there and turn exactly where you just were. Do some turning left and right and stuff. Like you turned around to face us and stuff. Still nothing. You know what was crazy? I don't know where you saw it.
I saw it heading that way in that corner.
I went to look at Dave and I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Like just a little.
Yeah, it was like right at that window and it was gone. Like it was almost like it was running.
Huh.
But you could see the arms and everything like it was going.
It was trucking. You don't have to be afraid of us. I will pour you that drink. You just have to come back in here. Speak with us a bit. Does that sound like a... Dude. Ghost meter. Just ticked on once I asked him to do that for a drink. Alright. Would you like it neat? So you like it a little dirty. He said yes. Alright. Would you like that with a straw? He knows how to drink his drink. So that was a vodka and gin, correct? Gin and tonic? That was going quite interesting. Well, we do have some items here. Unfortunately, I can't hear you at the moment unless you speak really loud. But we have these little black items here that have a red light and an orange section on it. All you have to do is speak into that, and I can get your drink order for you.
We're on the second floor, and we're going to do a session here in Al Capone's room. This room, he had windows watching every street to make sure nobody came up without him knowing. So we're going to go in here and see if we can't contact the ghost of Al Capone. It even smells like Al Capone.
Yeah, they got a game table in there.
Al Capone stayed in room 214. He liked having a vantage when he was here. And the front bedroom, which overlooks our awning and directly in front of the Elms, the bay windows in there, there's about 5 of them, allowed him to see all 3 roads coming in. Whenever he played cards here, he played in our Truman boardroom, which has glass in the front that overlooks the lobby, glass in the back that overlooks the back of the property. From what I gather from the Travis Melian family, he used the tunnels that we have off the front corner of the hotel one time and kind of hid in the tunnels and came back out when the
Poker chips.
Yeah.
Poker table.
There's some poker chips in here?
Poker chips and a poker table.
No shit.
Yep.
Where have you seen that at?
Right there. To your right there.
Oh. You know what? We should play a poker game. A hand, or just play a hand of cards.
Oh, do they have cards there too?
I don't know. Al, I'm from Illinois. I know you're a Chicago boy. The Cubbies are doing good. They've also just gotten some really good players. I think we're going to hit the World Series this year. I know you paid attention to baseball. I'm sure you've gambled on it. Being a Cubs fan, I'd have to say I put my chips in on them. Is there anybody here that worked for Al? I think maybe we ought to try the PSP-7. Yeah.
The PSP-7 is a device that sweeps through AM and FM radio frequencies. The goal is for the spirits to communicate with the investigators by using the frequencies from this device.
Can you say it through this?
Did you move, John?
What?
Did you just move your foot or something?
Yeah, I was going to What kind of car did you own, Mr. Capone? Look, we know you're rebottling alcohol with the Excelsior Springs water. We're not going to rat on you. In fact, we want in. How much of a percentage can we get? Do you know who Al Capone is?
Whoa. I hope that comes through on the camcorder. I just heard a yes in my ear and felt vibration, like wind, like vibration. I wonder if someone's out there. I wonder if there's someone out there just making.
Hang on a second, I'm going to check out here.
Okay.
I don't see anybody. I kept hearing banging and stuff over here.
With no sign of Al Capone or any other ghostly inhabitants, we turned our attention to something a little more sinister.
Yeah, that story in particular.
Is that one of the ones that you left out on purpose?
Yeah,
The scary ones?
the hotel. We kind of have to be careful. We don't want to push people away,
Right.
when it comes down to it. But yeah, there have been a few instances of scratching. I'll give you two on that. Number one, the room number was 347. The kid, it was a bellman. He went to make a delivery to the room, left the room, and he said that his back felt hot. He got down into the kitchen, took his shirt off, and there were scratches all down his back. He showed me a picture of his back, and it was definitely tore up pretty good. Very thin, welty, kind of scratches. He ended up being here probably about 2 months longer and left to work for a different company. About 2 months after that, I had a gentleman approach me with his daughter right before the tour. He says, "Jay, you got to take a look at this picture. It's of my daughter's back." And he showed me the picture, and it was scratched up, and it looked almost exactly like the Bellman's back, all tore up. I said, "Well, what is going on? What happened?" He told me that his daughter was in 347 with another girl mocking ghosts. Went to her room, which was 5:30, took a shower, came out of the shower. That's what her back looked like. I personally have been scratched here a couple times. As a matter of fact, it was twice in the same week. It was very thin, very faint on my side, kind of jagged, but 3 of them less than cat scratches. For me, I don't really understand it. You're this big bad entity, you're stealing phone charge, laptop juice, gaining all this strength together just to go, meow. You'd think you'd find something a little better to do with your energy. But it does happen here now and again.
We're about to head into 347 where 2 people have been reportedly scratched. And we're going to do a little provoking just to see if anything wants to do that to us. And then we'll try to come back here later on tonight. So. Man, all these rooms are nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like got a big kitchen table and everything.
All right.
Whoever scratched the 2 people in this room, the hell were you thinking? That sounds stupid to me. You don't scratch somebody. It's like picking up a cat and it doesn't want to be picked up and it just scratches. What I'm saying is you're a pussy. Anybody can scratch. A baby scratches you. You've been scratched by a baby fingernail? It sucks.
Did you hear that outside?
That thump.
Yeah.
Sounded like it came from behind me, but I don't know if it was. There it was. That's
Okay.
it, sure.
Well, Dave thinks you're a real asshole. Why don't you go over there and show him who you are? Give him a good scratch. Are you a big ass pussy? Pussy, pussy, pussy.
Yeah, come on over here. Let's see what you got. You like to scare people, let's see you scare me. What I'm about to use is a device built by John. It's a fan basically with earth magnets, and when we power it with a 9-volt battery, it rotates and allows that magnetic energy to flow freely from it, and this kind of puts it out in the atmosphere. Maybe a spirit can use it, we're not sure, but we're going to give it a try here anyway and see what happens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap. What are we at? Let me put this.
Let me know if you get ready.
Alright, go.
Just to show you how much energy this little device puts out, we have a K2 meter. It goes up to plus 20 milligauss.
Up and back.
And when it gets closer, as you can see, it's pegging this thing. So I mean, it is definitely putting off
the EMF.
Which, alternatively, could also affect us at the same rate.
Right? Fucked up. This is for you. Can you take this and use this energy that this is giving you? Impress us.
As we made our way down to the lap pool, we noticed that the lock that I had placed on the door earlier in the evening had been moved.
Is that turned?
Which way did you put this in?
I had this looking like it was locked.
Yeah, didn't you have it going this way?
Yeah. So somebody was down here.
I wonder if...
Maybe he was down here or something.
But he would have...
If he had to go in there or something.
Yeah, possibly.
Our DVRs will tell though.
Yeah.
Strangely, after reviewing the DVR, there was no video of anybody entering the lap pool area. We're not sure if this is paranormal or if somebody had actually moved it.
Our lap pool was a speakeasy at one point. They used to have a lot of card games and drinking and stuff like that down there. A gentleman was shot and killed down there over a bad gambling deal was the phrase that was used. I believe I know, the corner where he had passed only because a few other stories that the hotel's given me over the years. But that one in particular was advertised in the paper. Hotels don't generally like negative publicity, and so it's rare that any of these instances really did make it into the paper, but that was one of them.
The rest of the night was quiet. Neither audio or video turned up anything to support the claims of a haunting. It's easy to see why so many people have been attracted to the Elms. Memorable figures aside, could it be the waters flowing through Excelsior Springs that give it its haunting history?
I was gonna say you seem really connected to it, and not just physically, but like emotionally.
I've spent a lot of time here, all through the bottom of this place by myself. My daughter learned how to swim in the lap pool here. Over the past, 10 years, I've seen guests come and go. We have quite a few that keep coming back. I'm seeing children that I met, a while ago that are now grown and having children of their own, bringing them to the hotel here. It's wonderful seeing them, every year and catching up, seeing how everybody's doing. The people that work here are good people. They actually care about the hotel, and the guests. And so whenever I come to work here, it's not work. It's fun. I just come and catch up with everybody, see how everybody's doing that day, and go on back home. The draw was human strife, suffering. They really were sick. They came here, they had hope, to try and get better. Some of them didn't, but for me, the activity here reflects that exact emotion. They had hope. A lot of people came here to relax and have a good time. We don't have a lot of, scary things happening, just things. And I believe that, the activity directly relates to the people that came here. All of us are wanting to, get better when we're feeling like that. And so you have that little piece of your heart that comes here to try and accomplish that. A lot of people left pieces of their heart here. It's a good place to be. I love this hotel.